congratulations for everyone for this magnificent turnout today. We should understand that the people here protesting against NATO represent the anti-war, pro-peace opinion of the vast majority of people in Britain and around the world. And we have a great lineup of speakers from Wales, from Britain, and from around the world for you now. Our next speaker is someone from the heart of the beast. He's a member of the notonato network. He's also one of the leaders of the American Friends Service Committee in Boston. He's come all the way over from the United States for this protest. His name is Joseph Gerson. Give him a big round of applause. Joseph Gerson.
Thank you. It's great to be among friends. One basic message. From San Francisco to Ukraine, NATO only causes pain. From Newport to Ukraine, NATO only causes pain. When I was getting ready to go, my 7-year-old grandson who lives with me, he said, "Grandpa, why do you have to go again? Why do you have to travel again?" And I said, "Because we've got to stop wars. And we're all here because we want to stop wars and prevent wars." In the United States, we're in the belly of the beast, as Chris said. Our movement is dealing with the war in Afghanistan, the war in Iraq, the war in Syria, the drones, the war in Ukraine, the war in Yemen, the military buildup in Asia Pacific, and the United States' insistence on remaining the world's most powerful and most threatening nuclear power. And that all has to end. We're dealing with the detritus, the blowback from the Bush-Cheney wars, and Obama doesn't have the strength to be the peace candidate, the peace president that he promised to be. But let's focus on NATO for a second here. I walked through the streets with you. I saw people hurting. I saw a lot of places for rent. And one of the main things they'll be doing here at the NATO summit is demanding that Europeans pay more. That Europeans pay 2% for NATO while people are unemployed, while people are hungry, while people don't have housing, while people don't have access to education. And this we have to say no. No to the war. You know, there's a war going on in Ukraine, and the unhappy reality is that NATO and the European Union are principally responsible for making it happen. It didn't have to happen. Ukraine could be neutral in the same way that Austria was neutral during the Cold War, with very serious autonomy for its different peoples and its different regions. But instead, what happened? NATO continued its expansion right up to the borders of Russia. The European Union said, "We'll trade with you, but only on the condition that you have no relationship with Russia." I have no love for Putin, but you know, if you remember that Russia was invaded by Napoleon, by the Kaiser, and by Hitler, all coming through Ukraine, you might want to take some defensive action. Last thing to say, you know, the people united will never be defeated. In our various countries, we have to learn from one another to cooperate, to build an international movement, because that's the way we surround and isolate and defeat NATO, so that we have peace and prosperity for all of us. No to NATO, no to war.
Thanks very